Welcome to the Legion Outriders podcast, your source for the latest Legion news, opinion, and analysis. And now, the Outriders.
Hello, Outriders. Welcome back to this episode. Are we 106?
I believe we're at 106.
Yeah, 106. Yeah, pretty. Time is just kind of flying along there.
Yeah, I mean, not too long ago we had the 100 episode special.
Yeah, I was looking back at that. When I was doing editing on the last log. I was like, man, it feels like it was like yesterday and also forever long ago. But here we are on 106. Welcome aboard, everybody. Dan and Matt here with you. How are you, Dan?
I'm doing great.
Cool. We've got some news to go over today. But first off, did you finish WandaVision?
Oh, yes.
Oh, man.
I mean, there were such high expectations set. I don't think there was much they could do to fulfill everyone's theories. And
you don't think it wrapped up all the threads and introduced some fun new questions?
It did.
Oh, okay.
But the questions that it was laying earlier in the series, people were just going nuts on their theories and things like way out there with. Of course, we can't really go into spoilers, but
yeah. We won't talk spoilers.
Yeah, people were like, well, these characters that are super powerful and from some of the crazy cosmic stuff in the Marvel universe, but don't really have any introduction as of yet, which would confuse new viewers. That's what people wanted to come in, but
I think the most fun I had was the cameos and characters they brought in and recognized from other things. But I thought it was a fantastic series. For those that couldn't get past the first episode or two, you got to take it as the gestalt of the entire series. Like, it's made to be like a 4.5 hour movie. Yeah, but just with kind of breaks, intermissions, at convenient times.
And I don't know if you heard, because I don't think I mentioned it to you. Did you hear that Paul Bettany did an interview previous to the season finale where he said there's going to be a great actor who I've always wanted to work with in the season finale? And he kind of trolled us on that one.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I'm so glad you told me that. Because I know what I was expecting to happen, and that would have fit that one as well, too. Yes. But, okay. Anyways.
Yes, we'll get away from the illusions of things.
Yeah, but the nice thing is the Falcon Winter Soldier, or Captain America Winter Soldier is going to be coming out in a couple of weeks.
Falcon and Winter Soldier,
Falcon Winter Soldier, okay.
Yeah, so they're just rolling right into the next one, which was good. I mean,
that's cool.
Their original plan pre-pandemic was for Black Widow and Falcon and the Winter Soldier to come out as the first two things. Yeah. But the first two things got rearranged, but I don't think it's too bad.
Yeah. No, it's the production quality has been fantastic. Yeah. But that's nice. MCU's cool and all that. What about our Star Wars news, Dan?
Well, speaking of Star Wars shows, Bad Batch got its release date announced.
Did you notice my shirt?
Yes, that's you had to wear a Bad Batch shirt. Yes. May the 4th, so it's going to come out. Of course, I mean, everyone figured they'd be having something for May the 4th, so this just makes sense.
Like that's a strong choice.
Yeah. Looking forward to that one. The only other thing they really showed in relation to Bad Batch is they had some new stills of Fennec Shan's character, and they confirmed Fennec Shan is in the Bad Batch as well.
Nice.
But yeah,
is Filoni going to be involved in this one, or is it new development?
Good.
I have to look that up.
I have to double check on that. I'm assuming Filoni, because he's been involved in all Clone Wars things.
That's kind of what I assumed, but I wasn't sure if you knew for sure. But I have to look that up.
I assumed it so much that I didn't even bother checking.
Actually, just went and typed it up because of the magic of editing, and it looks like David Filoni, the Wolf Alpha leader himself, is executive producing on Bad Batch.
Yes,
so,
that
of course.
That man is a 3 Wolf Moon shirt and a cowboy hat. Like, I swear, he is.
Quite literally is, and also figuratively is.
Oh.
He rocks it so well.
He does. But yeah, well, I know you haven't gotten into the Alphabet Squadron books yet, have you?
I haven't, actually. You put the reminder on here that there's a new one coming out. I was like, gosh, I really need to do that.
Book 3 just released. And I'm a couple hours into it, and I'm liking it so far. But I've been following the series since it came out.
I really need to get into it. I just finished another book, so I'm ready to jump into a new one. Mm-hmm. I just did the Adam Savage Every Tool's a Hammer one. It was a really nice, very kind of quasi, here's how to do things. Also, here's some, positive philosophy things to to help you as well. And I really enjoyed that. But I would not mind getting into Alphabet Squadron now.
Yeah, and if anyone's a fan of pilots and, like the old Rogue Squadron books.
I love the Rogue Squadron books, so yeah. I'm actually kicking myself it's taken me this long. But what is the era this takes place in?
It's immediate post-Endor. So
okay.
So it's them hunting down Imperial remnant, and they show the perspective from both the Imperial side and the Rebel side, so you get both squadrons.
Oh, that's nice. It's not just a bunch of mustache twirling, is it?
No.
Okay, good.
And of course, not only did the Star Wars Squadrons have links to this is the third book now that's out, is having links back to Star Wars Squadrons.
I didn't even know that. Yeah, holy crap. Oh.
Considering that they happen in the same time frame.
Speaking of Star Wars Squadrons, one of my buddies was telling me it's going to the Game Pass here for Xbox soon.
Yes, so that'll be later this month, so there should be a big spike in players in that.
That should be cool. Yeah, at least play through the scenarios and the campaign there. But also...
also in gaming.
Yeah.
So, Republic Commando. Everyone loved Republic Commando.
I loved Republic Commando. I tried to go back and play that last year. That's a hard game. It's a hard game.
Because you had to utilize your squad mates specifically
you really
on that
do.
one.
You gotta use your squad mates.
But no, they're getting a re-release on the PS4 and the Switch, April 6th. So that's going to be coming out soon. And
I wonder if it's going to be remastered at all.
They said they're going to be doing some polish, quality life improvements, or redoing the controls, and they're adding trophies to the PS4.
Oh, interesting.
So it's not so much a remake or redo it, but they're definitely tuning it up to work with a modern system. So that's interesting. Unfortunately, did I start PS4 or PS5? I'm gonna have to double check that one.
I mean, it's probably both. Honestly.
Probably both. Yeah,
I think PS5. Honestly, PS4 hardware is probably overkill for it because that came out in 2004 or 2005,
early 2000s.
Yeah. I remember playing it on a CRT monitor. So
wow, okay.
It was a minute ago, but anyways.
So yeah, lots of good gaming and media stuff coming out.
Yeah. Speaking of good gaming, we played a game last week.
We did play a game last week.
That was not anything like good gaming.
Well, it wasn't a bad game.
It was a pretty bad game. It was a fun game, though. Yes. And once again, I learned a lot. I'm slowly unpacking the Galactic Republic here, but Dan is really honing in. Filing down the razor-sharp edges of his ISF list. What do you call it again?
3-4 shore.
3-4 shore.
Okay, instead of 3-3-3, it's 3 ISF, 4 stormtroopers.
So he got out there with his 1-2 buckle your shoe.
Yeah.
But we had what was the scenario?
It was Long March, Evaporators, and Supply Drop.
Yes, it was a very fun setup. And actually, the first couple of phases, we were just getting close to each other. You infiltrated your guys up there.
Well, my plan was infiltrate onto my Evaporators and ping them once and then move forward as my normal troops came from the deployment zone forward to get the Evaporators a second time. Yeah. So save a lot of action efficiency on there.
And then offer a couple of bait squads for me to shoot at and then just make every save ever. Always.
No, Iden was making every save ever, if I remember correctly.
No, that was in the game. She locked up Obi-Wan.
Yeah. So I don't anyone discount Iden in Melee.
No, she was a handful. But no, it was your ISFs that were hanging out. And there was 2 squads you kept. They just stayed put, and I just could not kill them. It was kind of. I was like, did I not bring enough firepower, or is it Dan has the dark side of the Force with his dice? But probably both.
Yeah. There was quite a few all block tank it saves.
Yeah. This is, I think it was a very clear illustration for me that I wait too long to start playing objectives. Yeah. I think in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking, I can always wait till the last couple of turns. Well, the last couple of turns are when everything's going downhill and you need to really be rationing your actions. So I was watching what you were doing. You were getting up there, ignoring the incoming fire, doing your objectives, and then you were good for the rest of the game. Yeah. And so I was on the back foot trying to close the gap. And usually how I do that is by, trying to obliterate my opponent. And then once everything's cleared in the rubble, you walk up and, okay, there's Evaporators.
Yeah. I mean, I even got one Stormtrooper squad over to one of your Evaporators.
Yeah, you did. And I was like, how is this happening? Oh, because, he's playing the objectives and, thinking about it. And also those 2 ISS squads won't die.
Pro tip of the day, though: play the objectives.
And that was something I prided myself on early on. Is like I would ignore the combat and go for the objectives. But I feel so excited with the clones to get out there and like throw high quality dice
and just start murdering.
Yeah, exactly. But you can't always count on the murder. It's not Chuck Norris out there. I mean, come on.
And I mean, Empire and clones have the same defensive saves. So
yeah. But it was a good game. I've got another one lined up for next week. We've got another community meetup here in town at the LGS.
So our local game store, Power 9, is having another casual event where everyone just gets together and plays whatever format they want, which has really been helping our turnout on that.
The new player recruitment, and looking forward to doing that.
Yeah, I mean, I forgot if I mentioned our last event, we had 2 Mad Lads do a 1,600 point game.
Oh no, we didn't.
It was 2 of the newer players.
That's news to me, actually. Yes. Oh crap!
And they hadn't noticed on the 1,600 point you're supposed to do it on a 6x4. Mm-hmm. They were doing it on a 6x3.
Wow, that was so a jam pack. I mean,
not only was it jam pack, but it was a absolute bloodbath. And I think at turn 2 is when one of them conceded because of the amount of death.
I bet. Yeah, somebody's gonna be able to reach out and touch somebody else from all ranges. At that point.
That was quite an interesting game to watch.
I'm sure it took as long as to get through those 2 turns as a normal game.
Oh yeah, so. It did. I did my whole 800 point game that day in the same time they did those 2 turns.
I believe it. But that's it for pretty much Star Wars news. There. What do we have in community news?
Well, hobby wise, been working on those crates for the Outriders.
Yes. We should have the official go live launch. It sounds like we're finalizing the details with 6+ supply.
6 up.
Shut up! Really?
Yes, it's 6 up.
I'm just kidding. Or am I?
Keegan, we love you again.
6 up. Supply.
6 up. Yes, I realize the show notes may have tricked you. I did actually put 6+ in the show notes. I didn't.
Oh,
that
so
was not intentional. That was not intentional.
Okay, got it.
That's their actual logo.
I mean, it is the logo. I actually went. I don't know if I told you this, but I went and I took their logo, modified it with a little rocker arrow on the, just mostly as a reminder to me. And then I realized it looked kind of like a print symbol or a Slaneshi or something like that. So I was like, probably better not to do that. But anyways.
Okay, 6. I'm making a note here. Always say 6 up in the notes.
I think that's just our thing now. Yes. So we should open up a competing brother or sister company.
Called 6+.
6+.
But spell out the plus.
Yeah.
Instead of having the plus sign.
No, it's pronounced up.
Okay. Oh, but yeah, we're working with Keegan.
Anyways, yes. So there will be more news on that in the following episode, and we're going to have like kind of retooling of the Patreon page so people can get access to the files. We've already got plans for the next one coming out. Mm-hmm. By the way, Hefe, if you're listening, I've got plans.
You got plans. But I've been the few boxes I've already printed from that. I've been priming them and starting to get them painted up.
Yeah, so, you put up a picture on our Discord with us using them in game, and I think they're great because they're a good enough height to cover, get your models behind there for the silhouette to have complete coverage, but also it's a kind of a narrower crate too, so it doesn't take up a ton of real estate, but provides that line of sight blocking. So I really like playing with them.
Yeah,
So good job on that, El Jefe.
Yeah.
But so next week on that, what else is going on?
Well, I've been touching up a few of my older squads just to bring them up to regular painting standards.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool to see, and I think I've gushed about this before, but your progression for where you started because you were an X-Wing player before Legion, so you didn't really do any painting.
I went from X-Wing to Destiny to Region. Oh, Destiny. Oh, Destiny.
Every time you remind me that was a thing, it makes me sad. Thanks. I've got boxes of that stuff.
Oh, yeah. No, I've literally got a big plastic tub of all my...
I'm not even sure what to do with it.
I've even offered it on the what used to be the local Destiny Facebook page, and no one bid on that. So
I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure that there's some hardcore communities out there still playing.
Yeah, but hey, if anyone out there is interested, I have full play sets of the first 4 sets. So.
You can find Outrider Dan on the Legion Discord.
Yeah.
Slash swap meet.
Well,
yeah.
And you've been working on building your clones, so.
Yeah, I am. I'm still trying to finalize a list I want to go. I went back to like prototyping the first. I turned my head to look at the stuff I'm working on, so I went off axis there. But with a Kenobi, couple of Barks, and then phase 1, phase 2s, and a support squad, and that was like the first list I started. And then I went way off on tangents with like Padme and stuff, got off beat, and then I was like, okay, let's go back here because I actually really like the way the Barks performed in the game or two that I played with them. So I wanna try to spend some more time trying to points. I need more points. I just need more points, Dan.
Well, I mean, there's always 1,600 points.
Yeah, no, I don't need that many points. If I could just get like an extra 25 points, can you handicap me that? Can you spot me that?
Actually, it'd be interesting to do a handicap system like that.
That would be kind of interesting. I wonder if maybe like a learner league or something like that, and you get more points if you lose or something, or you get less points if you win.
Actually, might have to brew on that one.
Yeah,
so,
let's. If anybody's got a system like that already, shoot us a message on Facebook.
Yeah. So, but speaking of events to go to where you use points, we've got 328 days to LVO. Oh, it's the LVO countdown.
Yes, it is the LVO countdown. Buckle in, folks. This is what it's going to be like for the next year.
Hey, this is our home tournament.
It is, and of course, we're always very excited to support LVO and everything. But 328 days, all right.
Hey, just enough time to maybe work on my table.
Yeah. Do I make another joke about should I start packing?
Yes. Yeah. And yes, folks, we're going to be doing this all the way until.
There it is. Yeah, buckle up. It's happening.
But another cool thing I noticed out there, and of course, hashtag not sponsored, we're not affiliated, but our Imperial Terrain, which has been a purveyor of...
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been a purveyor of terrain for the Legion community, both in STLs and physical files. But they started a Kickstarter up for this cool little thing they made called the Terrain Machine.
Right.
So, I mean, and in fact, you had the best analogy for this.
Yeah, so I was talking to Dan because, again, he's the printer guy on this. I was like, he was explaining, he was like, oh, you can customize buildings, and they send you the STL files. And I was like, oh, so it's like Hero Forge, but with buildings and stuff.
Yes, and then I totally face-palmed him, like, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, well, no, not everybody
I was trying
know
to,
Hero Forge is, but it's basically a software, a web-driven software program that you can customize, arms and shields and hoods and helmets and things like that. And then, you could either get the file to print yourself, or they'll do a print for you and send it to you for a, fee. But this one, it sounds like it's just the STLs they're doing.
Correct. So currently they're just doing the STLs. I'm sure they'd link it to their print service. We haven't talked to them about this or anything. Right. Just to be transparent, and we've had no communication. I just thought this was neat.
Yeah,
they were doing.
Neat. It's super neat.
But yeah, I've already signed up for their not so much the beta or their preview of it, and I've been messing around with it. And there's some interesting combinations you can do with the buildings on there.
Anything that's going to fit with your Star Tours board? You think?
I'm still I'm experimenting with that to see what may or may not fit on there. It's just, of course, the quality of their designs, it would stand out from my own designs, and the fact that they would look so much better than my homemade buildings.
You stop. That's where. So you paint those crappy and paint yours good, and it evens out. I think is how that works.
Well, and then just paint the geometry and everything at the list. No, they're really cool that you can and they come. And when you look at it, it's really basically plug and play. There's basically squares, and you can have a 1x1, a 1x2, an L shape of 3 of those, or 2x2, and you can mix and match each wall facet, each corner facet, each roof tile. You basically just choose from a list and mix and match, and you add little accessories to each wall, like a ladder on the side or some piping over here.
So I can have 16 different cantinas.
Yeah,
in my
basically.
Mos Eisley board. Okay.
And they're doing some different themes they've added with the Kickstarter. One of them being a cantina with an interior. And another interesting one too, they're doing some vehicles too, where you can mix and match the parts. So they've put some speeder bikes on there currently, and you can mix and match the front vanes and the main body and the engines on the back and the seat.
I think I saw that one of the ads that was popping up for it.
Yeah,
so that's cool.
I mean, like I said, I did throw in for the early bird on the Kickstarter. But yeah, I'm both curious and excited to see how that's going to turn out.
An ambitious project, and I can't wait to see it. And it makes a lot of sense with so many people having access or hobbying in 3D already. That hey, now you can customize terrain, get your cool looking table, and play games with it and enjoy the functionality and the aesthetics, which is what hobby gaming is really kind of about. But okay, I think we're going to take a quick break, guys, and we'll be right back to talk about the AMG Rules Forum is online, quite operational.
You are receiving the Legion Outriders podcast. Ending the transmission now would be most unfortunate. And now, the Outriders.
Welcome back, Outriders! The AMG Rules Forum is open for business.
Yeah, so this was previously announced in one of their live streams that they would be opening a Rules Forum. And honestly, FFG had a similar system set up. But
is somebody who came from the previous Privateer Press Rules Forum. I think I mentioned this before, but there's a lot of similarities here, and it's kind of good because overall it was a pretty good community. But the big thing is that you have official people that are posters on there that can make rules clarifications, and it basically becomes, gospel is written by, well, in this case, LJ.
Yeah, so LJ, what did we call him last time he was on the show? I think the one that got away.
He has worn many mantles in his time on the Outriders. I still prefer to think of him as BFFFF of the show. Yeah, FF. Yes.
LJ is now a moderator over on these forums, and of course he's...
It's like he was born to it. I know Talk Polite was probably, I should ask him about that sometime. Originates from his classroom because he's a teacher. But it works very well in a forums kind of setting too.
He's been the unofficial rules master, on the Discord and on the Facebook.
Was it really unofficial? I figure it was pretty much official.
I mean, this is now official since he is not only listed as a moderator, but he did mention on a live stream he did after this was announced that he does have a contract with AMG now.
Yes. So I see.
It is official.
Did they 3D print him like a sheriff's badge or something? Yeah. Clean up these forums.
Clean up this. But yeah, no. They got a cool thing is you can go on, you can make an account. You do have to make an account to go onto it. And you can either post questions, and per when LJ was talking about this, he said within 5 business day response maximum.
Really?
From either him or Luke. Or anyone else.
The other person that's posting out there.
Luke Eddy, yeah.
Did they have a title over there? Do you notice? Because I know in the PP forums there were Infernals. That's what they were called.
No, he was just listed as a moderator.
Moderator. Okay, that's probably a little bit.
Yeah, that's
better.
Yeah, it's not themed.
Infernal,
but
it made sense for lore of War Machine, but.
Yeah, so I mean, so for
ISB agent LJ.
So yeah, definitely check out the AMG Rules forums because there's a lot of things on there. I was scrolling through it, and there were some streams and whatnot that literally sat down and went through the whole thing, and it was like 3 or 4 hours.
Dan went ahead and put together a crib sheet of like the more notable things that we're going to quickly go through. But it's just really nice to know that there's this resource available to the community.
And it has been stated multiple times. If you have a question, definitely go on there and post, but do use the search function first to see if someone's already posted that. And of course, when you post, they said that it's not a public post; it goes directly to the moderators, and then they're going to review it, and then if it gets answered, then it gets posted for public viewing.
Oh, interesting!
So it doesn't just get filled up with people asking random questions on that. So
that's cool. That'll be actually a really good thing to keep an eye on as it grows, and we hadn't considered this corner case scenario, but just in case, here it is.
And it has been mentioned too that once things are officially added to the RRG, they will be pruned from the forum just so it doesn't bloat and doesn't have older rulings and things on there. So
I should go in there and ask a question like, if I'm making a noise for my eWeb, does it go pew pew or pew pew pew?
I'm pretty sure.
Pew 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 pew.
So yeah, they had 3 stickied posts. One was a welcome and explaining the rules, and then they had an FAQ which was 3 pages of FAQ items. So there was a lot of stuff explained in there.
Which is why it was very helpful. You made a crib sheet for the more interesting ones.
And then they had some rules reference guide corrections. So these are things that will be edited in the next RRG. Because they say, instead of this line, it's supposed to say this line. So.
Yeah. And I think it's important that we have these resources available, but also spreading the word to people, especially their new players. I know I've talked to people in the past that are like frustrated. It's like, oh, I'm getting into the game, but these cards aren't good anymore, and they've changed how some of this stuff works. How do I keep up with that? Well, you got to do a little bit of diligence. And I think for casual games at home, it probably doesn't make that much of a difference.
Casual games at home, use the point values on the card, use what it says on the card.
Yeah.
Like it's not a big deal.
Or a lot of the Tabletop Admiral and those kind of builders out there.
Yeah, the
they'll
builders
have
out
the
there.
updated points on there as
well.
Yeah,
and some of them have the updated cards and text too. So no, the builders are good resources, a kind of a quick reference to what the card should say. But as for rules interactions, of course, everyone says check the RRG. I know it's like how many page document now? 90-something page document.
It is girthy.
But some cool, well, at least I thought they were cool. Notable FAQs.
I guess we will decide on if they're cool or not, Dan.
Exactly.
Let the listeners decide.
So some FAQs I thought were interesting. About War Weary. Reduces the range at which a unit can use a friendly commander's courage. War Weary. War Weary. Yeah. But the question is, does War Weary affect the range?
Glad you got this one and not me.
Affect the range at which a unit can use the courage of an operative equipped with Inspiring Presence or a friendly heavy with Field Commander? Since neither of those items are technically commander units. And they clarified that as War Weary has no effect in either of those cases. So if you are using Padme with Inspiring Presence or a Field Commander in a tank, put War Weary in your deck because it doesn't reduce the range of those two particular units.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, that's Today we learned something. Next question. If fortified positions states that barricades placed by this card must be placed horizontally. Oh, yeah. I remember we talked about this.
Well, there's 2 of those. But
does that mean that they have to be placed parallel to the board edge? Answer. Horizontally means that the barricades cannot be placed on their sides, such as they were to stand up tall. They do not have to be parallel to any particular board edge.
So no, you can't stand it up like an eye.
Yeah.
But there was interesting. I didn't think there would be confusion that by horizontally they thought in orientation of the board.
I mean, and that's fair.
But that's an interesting thing. Now, on that point, can barricades be placed laying down? So they must be must they be placed traditionally?
I'm rolling my eyes at you so hard, Dan.
Well, because the barricade. If you look at it from the side, it's a triangle with where you usually have it the longer sides pointing up. This says yes, you can be placed on their sides as long as they're planked lengthwise horizontal onto the plane of the battlefield. So you can lay them down.
Oh, really? Well, because they're still gonna interrupt the base.
Yeah, so they're still interrupt the base for line of sight, but. You can lay them down like if they were, say, knocked over in battle.
Oh, that's fair. If it's going to be a gesture towards, the narrative or something like that, then absolutely. I could also kind of see if it's a little bit easier to measure from it. You flip it on its side for a little bit or put it back. I don't know. But if you're trying to garner an advantage by laying it down, well, I think that's not very Star Wars.
Well, and when we get later to the rules reference corrections, there's actually a reason they bring this up.
Oh, boy. Here, let's do it. All right. Let's see. If Agent Callus is defeated during the round he plays ISB Investigation, do any command cards set aside by the command card effect remain set aside and return to the player's hand in a subsequent round? Answer. Yes. That's it. No. Even if Agent Callus is defeated, the effect of ISB Investigation remains. I read all that, and I have no idea what they're talking about. Dan, can you break it down to common parlance for me?
The ISB Investigation, you choose a pip, they set those cards aside face up, and the next command card phase, you can't use those 2 face-up cards. What if Callus died before the next command card phase?
Okay. Now I'm getting it.
So do his command cards still apply? or does the effect of his command card still apply even though he's dead and no longer on the board? The answer is yes, because since it was played, it still carries over through it. So this sets a precedent for future things that have command cards that have effects that persist between rounds.
This reminds you like of a Magic the Gathering ruling or something. The effect is already fired off. Just because the card's no longer in play doesn't mean that the grenade hasn't been thrown. I know the grenade analogy hasn't been used in years, but still, it's the one I learned on. Okay. What else we got? RRG.
Yeah, those are just a few of the more interesting FAQs, and like I mentioned earlier, there are 3 pages of these things. So
feel free to peruse at your leisure.
Yeah, do peruse. Do use the search function. I think there's some interesting things in there. I just brought up a few of the interesting ones I thought here.
They didn't have anything about different stats for having mutton chops versus helmet callus?
No, unfortunately. Because mutton chop callus, of course, should be 50 points cheaper and surge to everything and
at least 50 points more handsome.
Yes. But the rules reference, they listed 5 corrections to the rules reference, which will probably be updated next time the RRG gets posted.
Yeah, you would think. So this is kind of an interim thing that they can get the rules that are reporting out into the public and then update the official, guide as it comes out.
Just so they can respond more quickly than
which is
getting
great.
Another RRG
and
out.
I fully endorse this, support this, and I love that they're doing this.
Yeah, because if anyone not aware, when they post an RRG, I haven't had this confirmed, but I have a feeling that it has to go through Lucasfilm approvals.
I wonder if they could talk about that. Speaking of not being able to talk anything, so on the last episode, I said that I'd tweet at Luke Eddy. I meant to mention this earlier.
Oh, yes.
About if there was a Yoda coming out, could we get his command cards in Yoda speak? He saw the post. He liked the post. He did not comment on the post. Which is very on brand for Luke. So.
Yes. Well, and the fact that those haven't been officially announced, that was only in the leak on Lion Rampart.
Yeah, that's why I gave him the big if it happens to be a thing. But of course, he plays it cagey that way.
Well, and anything he said could be construed as some sort of admission.
Exactly. I know exactly what he did. But maybe I put it in the back of his head. But they should do that. Or maybe have some alt art cards for like one of the packs, the skirmish packs, to have Yoda speak cards come out.
But yeah, in the past they've said that all of the articles do have to go through Lucasfilm approval. So every time they post, FFG said this, so I don't know how AMG is going to work. I'm assuming
like preview articles and things. Did they say that?
Yeah, that's said because that text can't break canon or describe a character inaccurately. Because they're talking about how the characters act in that, not just in game context, but
and apparently they couldn't agree upon a set of terms to describe the Imperial officers. So.
Yeah, so that's why the Imperial Specialist Pack has never come out.
They're like, well, I don't know about this. It sounded a little bit too heroic.
So that's why it takes forever sometimes for articles to come out because Lucasfilm Approvals has to approve every piece of merch or related content.
That's got to be either there is 1,000 people doing that round the clock or a handful of people that are just so overworked that it's beyond belief.
I assume it's the latter because, every time Haynes releases a new Chewbacca Underoos, they got to make sure that they don't break in canon.
Wait, they've got new ones?
But anyway, rules reference corrections. So yeah, updates to the rules reference. First one here in the transported entry. Transport X open, the following bullet point should be removed. While the unit is being transported, its weapons lose all fixed keywords. And in its place, this bullet point should be added. While a transporter unit is performing an attack, it ignores the restrictions of fixed keywords, but the weapons are still considered to have fixed keywords for the general purposes of other game effects.
Okay. So I knew what they were trying to get at. I guess that is a little bit more clear. So it was in the transport, so now it doesn't have the fixed keyword anymore. So now it's out of the transport, still doesn't have it, right?
Well, and what's nice, in each of these, they post a little reason why they're doing this update.
Okay.
This resolves... I am tongue-tied today. This resolves an unintended interaction with the transport keyword and generator upgrades. So because they lost fixed, they couldn't equip
that's
generators.
Right. We talked about this a while ago, and I was like, I don't know.
So it was just a little unintended thing they missed when they were making the rule. They were trying to streamline it, and it accidentally knocked a generator. So now you can put a generator on an E-Web in a Gav.
And they were so cheap, and I think they're pretty good.
Oh yeah, no. Every time I field an E-Web, and I said in skirmish, E-webs are amazing and I think a little overpowered.
I wonder what kind of emplacement we're going to get for Republic. Or droids even.
I could see maybe droids. Well,
we get the D-web.
Maybe maybe the crab droid may be an E-web on legs, and maybe it has to like root itself or something to fire. I'm just pure speculation on that.
The spider tank?
Not the big spider tank, but the little crab spider.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And actually, now that I think about it, I'm trying to even think back through Clone Wars. Did they have any emplacement style weapons?
They were a very mobile force, at least as demonstrated in the Clone Wars.
The Tartakovsky series, they had the one guy who had the quad laser on his shoulder harness on his chest.
Yes, there's that. He is the emplacement. Yes.
Yeah. So that might be interesting.
Yeah. CT-1253 emplacement.
You can use generators and E-webs in tanks now, or in any other things. I'm sorry?
Oh, I was going to say, any more to offer on that one?
Not on that point.
Okay. So the next one we have is in the standby entry, the following bullet point should be considered added. Repulsor vehicles cannot perform the standby action and cannot gain or spend standby tokens. If a repulsor vehicle would gain a standby token through a game effect, the token is returned to the supply instead. This resolves an issue with the repulsor vehicles gaining standby tokens via Lando Calrissian's command card, Ace Up His Sleeve. Note that repulsor vehicles with the hover ground keyword ignore this rule. Okay, yeah.
So they're making it so, because repulsor vehicles, non-tank ones.
I think there was... was there an issue early on with Republic, like the hover tank being able to spend tokens if they had the right upgrades or something? I don't know. I'm kind of shooting from the hip there.
They're just preventing an airspeeder from getting a standby token, which would be obscene.
That would be so cool.
Cool, but obscene.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, so horrible. We don't want that. Or do we? No, we don't. No, but this is very clearly their intention is vehicles don't get standby, that kind of thing.
Well, flying vehicles.
Flying
vehicles.
Thank you. You're right.
Now, there, of course, the hover tanks, like the repulsor ground, the AAT, the saber tank, can still use them because they just kind of hover there. They're not flying around like speeder bikes or air speeders or anything like that.
That's fair. Sure, yeah. You're right.
And I'm sure the LAAT LE will be a flying vehicle, too, that won't be able to do this. So.
We've seen the base for it.
Yeah,
so, that makes sense.
Then this is what I alluded to earlier, the next Barricade entry.
Yeah.
And the Barricade entry
okay.
should have the following bullet point out of barricades cannot be placed overlapping objective or condition tokens. So LJ actually brought this up.
Okay.
Remember how we said earlier how you can lay them down flat?
Yeah.
What if you laid 2 of them down flat over an objective token, like a key position or a mine or something like that?
I don't advocate violence, but I would punch the other guy right in the face.
Yeah. So like everything that can't overlap condition tokens, you can't put a barricade over because you could actually make a little tent for the barricade, laying them down flat.
I feel diminished knowing that somebody has tried that. I died a little bit inside. Beyond cheese, it's beardy cheese,
yes,
as they say.
And this resolves an unintended interaction caused by placing barricades with fortified positions, condition card, and objective tokens. So, yeah, you can't cover something with barricades.
Sad it had to be said, but there it is.
Yep.
It feels like such a, big brother teaching his little brother at 9 and 10 years old how to play Legion kind of move to do.
Yeah.
Thinking they're super clever. But anyway.
Look at I get to place barricades. I'm going to cover them over this mine here. Oh, look, this mine's not going off.
Guess I already won. Yeah. Okay. So we're on, number 4 now, right?
Yep.
Yeah. In the detachment, unit name type unit keyword entry, the following bullet point should be considered removed. During the deploy unit step of setup, a unit with the detachment keyword must be placed at speed 1 and within height 1 of a unit leader from a friendly unit that has the unit name or type specified by the detachment keyword. In its place, the following bullet point should be considered added. So this is the one you want to focus on. This is what it gets. During the deploy unit steps of the setup, the unit leader of a unit with the detachment keyword must be placed at speed 1 within height 1 of a unit leader belonging to a friendly unit that has the same unit name or type specified by the detachment keyword. Okay, so
the difference between those two sentences
is... You can't... I don't know, go ahead. No, I know. I think I know what they're getting at because I saw this in a game. I think the last time. I think I did this before. Yeah, at LVO last year, I had detachment shore troopers, and I put one of them way up in a tower. So
actually, no.
Okay.
Not quite. So because you can put it at speed 1 and height 1, so you can put a shore mortar up on a tower as long as it's within height 1 of its.
No,
its
it was well
unit.
beyond height 1.
Oh, well beyond height 1.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, it was like way up there.
No, the actual there's only one added word in the second.
Oh,
friendly instead of being within range 1, height 1 from a friendly unit leader, and this has to go with Maul's droids because it's the first detachment with multiple models.
Okay.
So
I gotcha.
The unit leader of the detachment has to be within range 1, height 1 of Maul.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other guys can cohese there. The first way around, with cohesion, you could get that unit leader another speed 1 out from that range.
Okay.
So that's kind of just shut down little shenanigans you can do by getting a little extra speed, or a little extra distance, I should say, out of the detachment unit.
Oh, okay. There'll be little shenanigans.
Yeah, so they're just cutting off a little bit of shenanigans.
Yeah.
Resolves an unintended interaction with miniature placement with units of multiple minis in the detachment. And this was Maul's droids are the first multiple mini.
I was going to say, I don't think there's any others I can think of right now because Iden's only got the one ID10T bot. So
yeah, and that's counterpart too.
Yeah.
So
whereas
the the shore mortar and
we had counterparts with 3PO also, but no multiple. I think.
Yeah, no multiples yet. Just the two emplacements with the veterans and the shores, and then Maul's droids, which are the first one.
They should have an Emperor 2.0 that comes with like little add-on Royal Guards with them.
I mean, that's probably what they were intending with Entourage, but
yeah, I mean,
you have to still have to pay for them. That's the problem.
Aw, man.
Why does everything cost points?
Why everything gotta cost points?
I just want to throw everything on the table.
I mean,
I want 5 ATSTs. Damn it.
5, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
why not
greedy,
10?
Why don't you? Yeah, why not? Come on.
And last one, rules reference correction. In the disembark entry, following bullet point should be removed. That a unit being transported can use a standby token to disembark, and replace that with a unit being transported with transport open can use its standby to disembark. A unit transported by a vehicle with transport closed can't spend standby tokens.
Oh.
So since the closed transports are finally coming into the game, with the speeder truck and the LAAT, they're saying that anything in a closed transport, and this is referenced a few other times in FAQs for other things that target things in closed transports. Closed things in transports are technically not on the board.
Right.
They're considered a part of that vehicle. So anything that's enclosed can't really spend tokens because it's enclosed inside the vehicle. Open ones can spend tokens, though, because they can shoot in and out and they can be shot.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense, and I really like that. So you can set up, if this thing's going to get, moved on, I want to be able to bail out the back of the truck or something like that.
Yeah.
Or the gav or what have you.
Mm-hmm. Or set up snows with steady so they can pop out and shoot, or there's lots of little shenanigans.
You're a monster.
Yes. I mean, because the standby can be used to shoot.
You played snows?
It's been a while. Mainly in skirmish, I put a Gideon Snow in there just to move things around. Yeah,
I miss the snows. Mm-hmm. I mean, shore troopers kind of like just dunked on everybody for a while there.
And now that the storms have gotten discounted, they've gotten a lot more interesting.
They're the new hots.
Yep.
But so there it is, a curated and selected portion of all the great things that await you over at the Amg Rules Forum.
Yes.
Sorry
if that was a bit dry.
No, I mean, we didn't read the entire thing. Oh, yeah. It's okay. They come here for the dryness. Fine gin. I hope not, actually, because, man, I guess we could, dull it down. We can go full BBC mode here.
Welcome to the Outriders ASMR channel.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna slowly drink my coffee through a straw. I will stop that right now. I'm sorry. If you're wearing headphones. We won't ever do that.
The sound of painting minis.
It reminds me of a joke. We could do like a audiobook. You could read the like one of the new Alphabet Squadron books, and it'll just be 8 hours of silence, and then at the end, Dan will say, "What, out loud?" Anyways, that's about it for this episode, Outriders. Thank you for sticking with us.
And, congratulations, Tumnus, for going 1-4.
Oh yeah, way to go, Tumnus. He won his last game in the Invader League round robin. So congratulations, bud. I knew you could do it. Go Bikes. But of course, you can always find us, the Legion Outriders, on Facebook and on Patreon if you'd like to support the show. Dan is on Discord under DanTech/Outrider_Dan. Mm-hmm. And you can find me on Twitter at GRN_Archer or on Twitch at Captain_Archer. But otherwise, we will catch you next time, Outriders.
This concludes the current episode of the Legion Outriders podcast. You may cultivate a tactical advantage by observing the Outriders on Facebook or Twitter at Legion Outriders. Wisdom advocates subscribing to the podcast. Acting otherwise is reckless.